So let's get this party started. We got FabTheVegan with us today. He's from Queens. He's got an amazing story. He was about 300 pounds at one time in his life.
Oh, yes. Even more, I believe.
Even more? Wow. And today he weighs 165 pounds. He's probably one of the healthiest guys we know. So it's going to be a really good podcast. He's also a business owner and an entrepreneur. Yes. And we're going to get into that because this show is all about that. It's your story. You can learn something from you. It'll be great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm excited for today's show on Joel, Business with Joel and Benny. And yeah, can't wait to get into it and hear more about your journey and all the accomplishments you've made and get some key information to provide some value to the listeners.
Awesome.
So you've had a stone company for a long time. You want to start off with that and tell us a little bit about that?
All right, yeah. So I started working with marble back in 1985. I was 22, 23 years old. Before that, I was just loading and unloading big trucks, big rigs, because that's what I could do. Then I had a friend that said, "Hey, we're hiring at this marble company." I said, "What's marble?" I thought we were working cemeteries or something. I had no idea. I'm just a kid from Queens,
Yeah.
So I said, "All right, let me give it a shot." I went over there, and sure enough, what they were doing is I used to polish marble and things like that. And I was like, I walked in, and I worked, as I started working, I used to see what my boss used to do. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then, no lie, I liked it so much that a year later, my boss actually gave me a truck and a helper. And wow. I picked it up quick because I was like, wow, I like this,
wow.
And because I never finished high school. So, I had to work with my hands. I had to learn something. And that was 1985, 86. By 1989, I already had opened a small company in New York. I started hustling. I started doing side work and everything. I opened a company, but New York, the union killed me. Forget about it. Too much money. So I started doing a lot of side work, and I still stayed with the company. And then, and I kept working. So what I did in the marble company, I actually got another job in the marble company where I was able to work nights from like 10 to 6 in the morning, polishing marble too. Like hotels, floors, and things like that. So that gave me time during the day to hustle for me. So I only slept like 2 or 3 hours, and I was out there hustling and everything. I started doing a lot of side work, and then, but I kept doing that. Then, as we go into a little bit later on, that's when I started getting a little weight, But I was hustling and everything. Then in 1997, I went to get out of New York. I went to my daughter at that time. She was going to middle school, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I said, nah, I'm going to raise her over here. So I picked up. I used to visit Florida. Mm-hmm. And I came with the mentality. I didn't know there was marble out here or nothing. I said, you know what? It's about my kids. And even if I work McDonald's during the day and Burger King at night just to pay the bills, I'm going to do it. You know? I mean, it was about the kids. I didn't do no business move or nothing like that. So that's where the idea came. So when I came over here, then, I was blessed that actually some companies in New York still wanted some work done in hotels. So I was traveling back and forth. So I used to go to New York maybe 10 days, 15 days and work. Then when I came to Florida, I made business cards. I went to Tampa, everywhere. I started, giving my business cards, showing them what I do, and charging very cheap because I wanted to know what I could do. At that time, I was 30. Oh my God, I was only like 33, 34.
I think that's the thing, right? Like if you just get into something, you don't want to be charging what the big guys charge.
No, exactly. And again, it can work against you too. Yeah. Because, it's like everything else. Why are you so cheap? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it's kind of, it's it gets catch-22 there. But I started doing it. So what I did is jobs that would cost 100, I did it for 50. They used to give me a shot, and the works, was doing good. So they started calling me more and things like that. That was in 97, and that's when I opened the company, but it was under Bella Marble Restoration.
Okay.
Bella, because that's what the company name that I had in New York. So I started doing that. I was going back and forth, taking machines on the plane, I remember, work over there, then come over here and hustled over here. Then I started getting work over here. So it was, then little by little transition to Florida about a year and a half later. And so that was so saying, by 2001, already have 5 crews out there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was hustling though. I wasn't sleeping or nothing.
Where do you get that ambition from? Is just your kids? Because you said you learned it, you loved it, and then you really started going after it, and then you had your kids.
Yeah. So I think the ambition actually just I learned that from my mother, I believe. You know, and like I tell my kids, my boys that run the business now, I say I didn't set out to be an entrepreneur. The problem with me, I didn't like listen to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to work for yourself.
Yeah, I didn't want nobody telling me what to do. So I had that
understand.
problem because you're for the streets. You don't want to, the thing of respect or whatever, but whatever that is. So that's what I started doing, and then I came to Florida, started hustling, and I started working. Then, like I said, then I went up to 5 crews, which was doing nice. But the only problem was with that. I learned after a while is that you start losing quality.
Oh.
Because the doctor wasn't out there all the time.
Okay, yeah.
So
Talk
you
about
had
that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the guys that are out there, they were doing good work, but they weren't as passionate as I was.
Got you.
So I had a lot of,
Quality control.
Well, yeah. So then I started like cutting down, and I only let 2 crews. I had 2 crews which I could control. One of them was me that I was working. I had the other crew doing other things, so that was working fine.
So you didn't get 5 crew members or 5 crews because you didn't want to do the work. You did it because you had to do it in order to do the work.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people like to hire just people so they don't have to do the work.
Yeah. No, even to this day, I still go out there and get involved with my boys. You know what I mean? I like it. That's my baby, and I started doing it in 85. And so here we are, 35, 37 years, I don't know, 37 years later.
Wow.
I've been doing
awesome.
That's
Own a business for that long, that's great.
Yeah, I was going to say, to reach a milestone like that in business,
I'll tell you.
You went through the recession,
everything.
every stage that we've been through in the last 30 years.
Sounds like a couple of recessions, actually.
Yeah, a couple. I went through 93, 98,
08.
2001, 08, and 2020. And I made it. Every time something happened, I tell my boys, I go like this, okay, get ready to make money. Get ready to make money and save it. I tell them, don't go out there spending nothing. Just save it, hold on to it, And then, because I learned, for 93 was the first tower.
Yeah.
Everything was shut down. And that was in New York. So, but what they say that in chaos, there's opportunity.
Yeah. Don't ever let a good crisis go to waste.
Exactly. There's a lot of opportunity. So I used to go out there and just hustle, man. So
That's
so
awesome.
it was, so I always had the ambition. Always been a worker, even since I was a kid. Because my mother raised 6 of us. She was the only one working. She used to work in a factory, ironing clothes from 7 in the morning to about 7 at night.
Wow.
Mom really, 4'10", but she was a worker. She fed her kids and everything. So I never had that to say the balls to ask mom for money. Not even for a quarter.
Wow.
Nothing, because I felt bad. She was already raising us, feeding us, and I'm going to ask her for money? No. So I used to go, and then New York, I used to go snow shoveling. I used to shovel snow, clean driveways. I used to say, hey, I used to see people like washing their car. You want me to do it? Wash it. So I was always hustling.
Any opportunity.
Any opportunity. I used to go in the streets at like 15 years old. I used to go in the garbage, and if I saw like a piece of furniture that looked okay, so in my neighborhood, there was a place they used to buy and sell used furniture.
Okay.
So I used to drag like bureaus, tables, and bring it over there and see what they gave me. And actually, some of the pieces I bought. So I made like $5, things like that. Other times they said, no, it's no good. So I used to live at the curb in the street,
Oh man, yeah. But I think you have an inherent ability to like make things happen for yourself.
Thank you. Yes. And then when I had my kids and everything, that was even more an incentive to do what I do, And then I started taking my boys to work, when they were like 5 years old.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
5 years
amazing.
old. And that, 5 years old, and then in grade school and junior high and high school, they were under the roof. They had to put in work. I tell them, I don't care if you got another job. If I need you, you come to work with me. And I didn't ask. I used to go on the door the night before, knock on the door, said, tomorrow, be ready by 7:30. No question. Okay, Dad, like one day my son gets up, he's ready by 7:30. Hey, Dad, could I get some cereal before I go? No, I go. I told you be ready at 7:30. Get your cereal when you come back. I told him. Next time he went to work, he was up at 6:30 making sure he had his cereal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He learned his lesson.
He learned his lesson, because I used to feed them my lunch. You had to wait all the way till lunch to eat. So he was starving. But I saw, he was starving, but I say it's the only way he's going to learn.
But now he's probably the star of your business.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they're both, they know. They already know. So I have 2 sons. One is 35, 34, the other one is 27. and they both work well together, and both of them I took them to work.
So just circle back to the 5 crews that you had, and the quality started going bad. What did you do to correct that? Or
I started getting rid of people. Okay. Yeah, because by that time I said, if my name is gonna suffer, I don't need that type of money. I'd rather, back in the day, we say either you eat steak or macaroni and cheese. Mm-hmm. You know, I ate a lot of macaroni and cheese. Back then, the Kraft boxes was $4.
For me, it was ramen noodles.
Yeah, right, ramen noodles. So we used to throw eggs in that and everything. But it is what it is, you know. Yeah. So I'd rather eat ramen noodles, or, macaroni and cheese than put my name through the, because once you start losing credibility in your name, you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty interesting because a lot of people hire, in the beginning, you hire friends and family or people that you're close with, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hard to fire those people.
Yeah.
And you just, continue on with these people for a long time. But it sounds like you just got right on it.
Oh, yeah, I got right on it. First of all, I already knew what I was building. Mm-hmm. I had to go. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had to go. So every time I used to go there, I made sure the name Fabrizio was clean, it was good. And if somebody called, hey, Fabrizio, I got a problem with the floor, I saw something, whatever, I was there the next day, 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's dedication right there.
You have to go. You tell, I'll be there next week. They say, no, then you're not responsible. I say, okay, I'll be there at 9 in the morning. I will call the other customer. Okay, I'm going to be a little late. And I called everybody. I'll be there. If I told a customer I'll be there at 9, I couldn't be there at 9. I'll call them up and tell them what time I'll be there. I even tell my boys to this day, if you're going to be 10 minutes late, I go, you better call or text or whatever you're doing with the customer and let them know you're not going to be there at 9 o'clock, you'll be there at 9:15. Because you don't know if that person is in the shower, now he's rushing out of the shower because you're going to be there at 9 o'clock while he could have 50 more minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's being responsible to them, I go, because they also got jobs. They also got bills to pay.
Yeah. Not just that, but there's probably 100 other companies that would love to take your place.
Yeah.
So from what I'm hearing is your brand name, your company name, and the way you treat your customers,
it's all about the name.
Yeah.
It's all about that. That's why you see to this day you buy items that carry a name and you say that's good quality.
Yeah.
Why do we drive expensive cars? Because they're good quality. Yeah. Why do we eat certain foods? Because they're good quality. Why do we buy certain appliances? Because they're good quality. Because they already have built a name 100 years ago. So now they're probably third generation, and everybody trusts a product of GE or whatever. They trust Apples. It's because they built the brand already.
Yeah, goodwill takes a lot of years to build.
Oh yeah,
and,
and I tell people, don't focus about the money, even if you're struggling, but keep the name and to this day, going back there, to this day, I have customers because I have customers that call me from 97, 98 that started working here. They have called me to still do work. And now I introduce them to my sons, and my sons are doing work for their sons or their families. It's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
So let me ask you this. So you started in the marble. Nowadays, you have all these alternative stones and stuff. Yeah. Were you able to pivot just...
Yeah. And I already know the market, and I know what's going on behind the, on the inside with all the products. And products go in and out, in and out. You have a lot of products today that are hot. They cost millions of dollars. And 5 years from now, they're going to be worth anything.
Yeah. I'm sorry, innovate is the word I was looking for. Yeah. You had to innovate because you have all these different alternative stones going.
Oh, they got so many. And I already, from the get-go, when this stone came out, that goes by quartzite and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hot. It was twice as much as granite. And now my customer says, I used to have customers say, I heard that quartzite is good. I go, listen, stay with marble and granite. Being used for millions of years. It never failed anybody. I go, stop with all those man-made products and they look good, So that was 5 years ago when that came out. Today, all of them are having problems. All those tops are stained. They're burned and everything, and you can't fix them because it's not natural product. If it was a granite or marble, we could go there and refurbish it, restore it, and it'll be even better than new.
What about quartz?
Quartz is good for some areas. I don't suggest it in the kitchen, where if you like cooking a lot and things like that, you got a lot of oils. So what happens, oils, in its cold state, it doesn't stain, but when it heats up, it goes through everything. You understand? Okay. So quartz and things like that, you really can't seal, like stone. Gotcha. And again, if you get something in stone, you can't repair it. You know,
Yeah.
if you get a scratch on this table and this is, you know, white marble, you could come here, sand it, and polish everything. It'll look good. Because it's the same thing all the way through.
Gotcha.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
my kitchen has a whole lot of a whole lot of quartz in it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm listening to you talking.
Yeah.
Like, did we make a mistake?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
you-
It's good stuff. Though.
Yeah, you just gotta be more careful. Don't drag things on it. You know, don't put things hot directly on it. Maybe use a hot plate, things like that. Because a lot of times, if it's too hot and you leave it there in that place, it will create a ring. So you gotta be very careful. You gotta, you know, use hot plates. You put it on top. Don't anything that's metal. Don't drag it.
You kind of want to treat all stones that way.
Oh,
really,
yeah, exactly,
Because
exactly.
you seal it, you don't want to ruin that
Yeah,
either.
exactly. So you treat everything like everything else. You know, just like if you have drive a Lamborghini and you be careful how you open the doors, how you sit in, and it, you know, because you want to keep the value. Same
Yeah.
thing with stone. I mean, it's an investment for your home.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, everything is an investment.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
so-
stone changes the value of a home, especially in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, forget about it. It's been being used for so long. You know, 70s and 80s they were using a lot of formic and things like that. You know, like the Brady Bunch look. You know,
Yeah.
the orange countertops. You know, that was it. You know.
Yeah, you get any water in it.
Oh my God. So now, you know, a lot of alternatives, and they're good alternatives, you know, but they all have the right place in the home. You know, they all have the right place, you know, so things like that, you know. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Stuff,
So
yeah.
you learned a
Like-
lot about your business and
Yeah.
it became your passion. And then because of that,
Yeah.
you're here 37 years later. You got
Yeah.
a business that's still thriving.
Still thriving, still
incredible.
paying the bills. Just now it's feeding my kids and the families and everything. And
Isn't that amazing that you had an idea,
yeah.
you hustled really hard, you worked, you overcame all these battles, and this business is now being transferred through your generations of your family. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean that's what America's about, right?
Exactly. You know, like I say, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. My thing was I got to feed a family. I got to learn something. This is something that I can pay my bills for, that I could learn more, you know, and that's why I stuck to it. And it became my passion, and it is my passion even, you know, the stone. I still go someplace to the jobs, you know, and I go see how the boys are doing. And they go, hey, boss, what are you doing here? We okay. Bye, boss. Bye. It's like, all right. Just want to say what's going on, you know?
A question I have for you is, obviously, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, right,
Yeah.
out in the world, and they're all looking for what tips and advice you would give them to be successful in opening a business and whatever they're passionate about. What would you say to these people that are listening
Yeah.
to the podcast? What advice would you give with all the experience you had in these years?
The best advice I can give is be patient. You know, a baby when it's born doesn't learn how to run overnight. He crawls, then he walks, and he's always, you know, stumbling. And even to 2-3 years old, he's still trying to find how to walk. And as we get older, so a lot of times today, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that start a business looking good, and then something happens, they lose faith in themselves. You know, they're like, oh my God, but last month I made this much, and this month I only made this much, and they harden themselves. That's the life of an entrepreneur.
That's
You
true.
know, and like I say, you know, when you go to the hospital, they show you the scan, you know, it goes like that. I go, and the other one, which one's the worst one? The flat one.
Yeah.
Because you're flatline, you're dead. So if your business like that means you're gonna die. But if it goes up and down, that means you're learning, you're growing, you're learning, you're growing. And
That's
you keep
awesome.
growing, you keep growing, you keep growing, and then you learn patience. Okay, so you say, okay, last month we made 10. This month, okay, we made only 6. That's fine. We got to survive. We just cut a little back. Okay, we can't go too much to the restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
Things like that. So you learn how to adjust financially, you know? And I always say the first mistake a lot of young entrepreneurs do is as soon as they start making a little cash, they go spend it. They buy expensive cars, they start looking at bigger homes, start looking at, relax.
Yeah.
And like, you know, your business has to feed your business too, not just you.
Yeah.
You know, there's things you need. Maybe if you are like myself, you're you work with your hands and machines. You know, take money and invest in taking care of the machines, maybe, or the company truck. That's the money maker, not the Mercedes in the driveway.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
true.
saying? The money maker is a truck. You better keep that truck clean and tuned and gassed up and everything. Because if that truck fails, you ain't gonna make no money that day.
That makes
So
sense.
be patient.
That's great
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah,
I
be
like-
patient.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know, and I see a lot. Oh, no, and they start worrying because now they spend so much money. Now they don't got, and they spend every line of credit and everything Okay, and a lot of times they say, yeah, I did this or that. Okay, well, you're learning, right? Okay, let's start over. It's not the end of the world. I mean, there was times I had 3 kids, a mortgage, wife, everything back in the day, and I had to feed them. And all I had in my bank account was maybe $5, and then my drawer $50. And I used to sit in that house and say, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Wow.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do something? I got to do. But I made it. I used to go out the next day. I used to get business cards. I used to go, like I tell you, I used to put business cards in mailboxes. I used to go to all the businesses. Hey, my name is Fabrizio. I do this. This is my card if you need anything. Blah, blah. I didn't sit on the couch and cry and say, oh my God, what am I going to do? I went out there and just walked. I used to park the car and just walk, put cards. I made flyers, put them in the mailboxes.
Yeah, you exploited a skill you learned early on in your life.
Yeah.
And when times got tough, you just went after it, and you put that skill to work for you.
Exactly, because if you just sit there, you're going to starve.
Most people out there know how to do something.
Yeah.
And it just instead of sitting around, they can put that thing that they know to work for them.
Exactly. And
a little bit of hustle.
Yeah, and I give a lot of suggestions to young guys too, entrepreneurs. A lot of them, they like sitting behind the desk with the computer all clean with the tie and beautiful. Okay, looks good. But sometimes that doesn't pay the bills. Mm-hmm. So learn the trade. I tell my boys when they were young, I tell them, listen, stop trying to be Superman, all right? Be Batman. And they go, why Batman? I go, because Batman got a belt of gadgets, full of gadgets. And if one don't work, he uses the other one. And so on and so on. And he's human.
Batman wasn't born super.
No, exactly. He's human. The only reason Superman is super is because he comes from another planet.
Yeah.
And he's strong, he's an alien. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, it's funny you said that because Batman is his favorite character.
Yeah.
Batman is human. He bleeds. You know what I mean? Superman doesn't bleed. Superman is from another planet. It's like you going to another planet, they're a bunch of little peoples. You are Superman to them. But doesn't make you special. You know what I mean?
You literally broke down the reason why I love Batman. I literally have a Bat cave at my house with tons of comics.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. He bleeds, he paints, Even in the movies you see him like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Iron Man is another one.
Yeah, Iron Man's cool.
Iron Man's cool. So that's what I tell you. Just, learn different things, Like a lot of people, you say, but I don't have school to go to, I don't have money to go to school to learn a trade. I tell you this, what is it that you would like to learn? And they'll say, plumbing. Okay, this is what you do. Go get a job at a plumbing company, and learn how to, do pipes and everything. You're going to be the golfer for the first year. You're going to go get the coffee. You're going to get the pipe. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. You ain't going to know actual work, but you're watching and learning. And you show up there half an hour early and you're the last one to leave. Mm-hmm. Okay? And you make sure you're there, you're ready for work. You start learning. Soon they're going to say, oh, this kid wants to work. And they're going to put you to do something. And little by little, and 4 years later, you get your license through that company. But this time, and you stay respectful to clients, and stay respectful to your boss and everything. So what's going to happen is when you make that pivot into your own business, the customers that were calling them, they were calling the company because of you. Now they're going to call you directly.
Call you,
you see? But you got to put in work and you got to put in time.
Yeah, it's a marathon, right?
It's
not a sprint.
No, it's not exactly. And, so here we are 5-7 years later, you may have 2 trucks out there now.
Yeah.
On your own boss, your own business and things. And you don't have to pay anybody. They were paying you to learn.
And by the way, plumbers make great money. I had to call one the other day after hours, and it was
forget
incredible.
It's a killer.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like the emergency room.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going nowhere. Every trade,
yeah.
It's true. We still need electricians. We still need plumbers. We still AC people. No matter how high tech we get, we still need hands-on.
We need tradesmen.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like a lot of times we do work, they say, oh, you do that by hand. I go, yeah, we still got to use our hands.
Yeah. Until we can have robots to do all these things for us, we're gonna need it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that lifetime. So
then people will just take out the robots.
Yeah,
we know better.
We know better. So that's what advice I give. Learn the trade. Hustle in whatever business you're doing. Be on time. Be punctual. Dress well. Look your best. Shave every day. Look clean. Look good. So when your boss sees you, they say, wow, this guy, he's a good representative of the company. So he may just say, you know what, I need you to go to a meeting to represent the company because you always come clean, you always look good. Every morning, take the time to shave. You know, you can never be what you call it, overdressed, but you can always be underdressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
yeah.
true.
You know?
Actually, my wife has the same about that. She's like, you dress for the job, for the next job,
For the next job.
for the next position.
Yeah.
You're not dressing for the one you have. You're
No,
dressing for the next
for
one.
the next one. Exactly.
Agreed.
And that's what I used to do, and that's what every morning I used to like shave, make sure I look good, everything. Go to the clients, make sure everything was clean. You know, even though the other day I was a mess, but I showed up to the house clean. But I was a mess because I was working in the house, you know, in the
Yeah.
marble.
Yeah.
And a lot of young people don't see that, you know, because they got this vision that by 30 they're going to be millionaires. how many of us said that?
Oh my God.
You know, but for the wrong reasons. Yes, you could be for the right reasons, but for
Right.
the wrong reasons, because they think they're just going to sit out in the yard and just play on the laptop.
You got to think social media for that.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Social media is crazy.
And videos, you know, with all the rented things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now we're coming full circle. People are realizing that it's not real life.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're coming full circle. It's about time. And a lot of young, because I do a lot of network. I see a lot of young people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I applaud them. They're there. They could be someplace else. And there are network events. Usually they are 5 at night to 7. They could be a half the hour, you know, under some place in happy hour.
Yeah.
But they're there. They're dressed well. And they're out there giving their all, you know. I applaud them. I really do. I think the youth these days have come a long way.
Yeah, me too. That tells me that there's hope.
Yeah,
For my daughter,
yeah.
she's 1.
Yeah.
She's gonna turn 1 next month.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
after watching, you ever watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix?
Nah, I
Oh
don't think
man,
so.
yeah, that was basically talking about how like social media just messes at the minds of these young kids because there's so much fake stuff going
Oh
on
my
and
God.
what's being
gosh.
fed to them.
Yeah. And now with all the filters and
they want-
everything,
they want-
people are afraid to come out because
Yeah.
they say, no, but I don't look that way. And they're going to see the way I look, and I don't like myself. And they won't come out. They won't even meet you because now they want people, all they know is filters,
Yeah,
you know? And they don't want to come out now. They stay in the room. They stay, you know, in their phones, and they could be somebody else on their phone. And that's why they also kiss this day, and they reassure, no, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you're handsome, you're good-looking young man, blah, blah, blah. They need that.
Yeah,
Parents
that's
need to say that every day to the kids. Every day.
That's good advice.
Every day. Hey, you look good, yeah.
Definitely bringing young children's motivation up, making
Yeah.
them feel good about
Yeah.
themselves. And then, you know, if they become an entrepreneur, even better, because
Yeah.
you need that confidence.
Yeah, you need the confidence. And there will become, because with all the confidence, you know, like a lot of people see me today, you know, they see me like, you know, confident and everything and all this other stuff. I'm out there, but I wasn't like this 6 years ago. You know, I made a change that brought me this way. And like I said, I resurrected from the couch, and now I'm living and I'm out there because I know I'm going to be 60. How much longer do I have?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I have 10 more years, let's say, of good health or whatever. I may have more, but I may not. So I'm not going to waste them on the couch. I'm not going to waste them no place I don't want to be at. You know, or with people I don't want to be with. So I look at it, I say anything after 75 is a gift from God.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you could say that.
Yeah, you know?
I think now medicine has taken us really far. I think
Yeah.
you could live longer on medicine, but who wants to do that?
Who wants to
'Cause
do
then
that?
you have all these other
Yeah.
side effects and stuff.
Yeah, you
know,
have
so-
all these side effects. It's the same thing they do like in the, the old age homes, you know? They keep them
Yeah.
alive for the paycheck,
yeah,
you know? And that's what they're trying to do that with everybody.
that's true.
You know, so that's why it's good to, you got to take care of your health. You got to see what you eat. You got to do because you don't want to be a mess because
So-
that's not living.
Knowing you, Fab, I know health is really important to you.
Yeah.
So let's dive in a little bit into that, and let's talk about a little bit about your story,
Okay.
right? Because that's something you're passionate about. You know, just give the
Yes.
listeners a little bit of background. Just basically, we could start from the beginning, and then
Yeah.
we can get into what is veganism,
Yeah.
like vegan.
So what happened with me is I was building my marble business. I was just taking money, making the business grow. I didn't know anything back then about health or anything like that, and I didn't care. I used to, typical Latino, came home, eat a pound of rice with 2 or 3 chuletas, with beans and everything, and that was frijoles, everything
Oh,
there.
man. You make me hungry.
And after I finished that plate, I went to the pot, ate more, because that's the best part, the bottom
Ate
of
the
the pot.
second,
You know?
Con.
You put the extra oil from the meat, forget about it.
Yeah.
So I used to eat like that. Plus, I used to eat a lot of fast food. I was always on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so from when I was in my early 20s, I weighed about 130. By the time I was in my mid-40s, I got married at 25. I had kids. I started building a business. By my mid-40s, I can assure you I was maybe close to 320.
Wow.
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 320 from a kid from 130.
And when you're in your 20s, that's kind of like your natural weight.
Yeah.
You could be that probably your whole life, right?
You could be. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you could be. I mean, you could be that. So what happened, I started, so I forgot. And that's why also when I talk a lot about, when I talk, health is so important. I know so many people with a lot of money and their health is not good. And they can't do nothing with it. They worked all their lives for all that. They hustled. I'm sure they were hustlers and everything, but they lost their health. But the worst part is not that they lost their health, they lost confidence in themselves. Once that happens, you're done.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Because all you're waiting is for, the Green Reaper to come and take you. So I started getting a lot of weight. So I went close to that, to about 310, 320. That was in my mid-40s. And at 44, I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2.
Oof.
Yeah, so what happened was I was in denial for about a year. I was always thirsty. I was always sleepy. So it got so bad that I couldn't go to work no more. And then at that time, my ex told me, you should go to the hospital. Something's wrong with you. No. And I said to myself, no, I'm good. Men, we don't like to to go to the hospital. That's how we are. That's how we
Macho,
build.
right?
Macho. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. So until I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, my body was in pain. I was sleepy, and I was actually shrinking, and I was getting sucked in. Because what happens, the body starts defending itself. It starts eating out. Your organs, everything just starts eating at your body. And then I went to the hospital. Sure enough, my sugar, I think, was in the 600s. Only supposed to be like, what is it? I forget right now, about 1 something. And I was bad. So the doctor said, oh my God, they kept me in the hospital for 5 days. They gave me, the IVs, and they started putting insulin in me with the needle and the pill. And they let me go about 5 days later, and they brought down my blood sugar to about 200, manageable. And the doctor said, make sure you take your medicines, this and that. You're diabetic now, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, well, all righty. But I didn't know anything about nutrition. So I still ate the same thing, but I had the pill. So I said, okay, good. I just got to take my pills. I didn't know that. At 47, then that was 44. 47, I had a mild heart attack. I was taken to the hospital and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. The worst thing, the worst pain there is for me, your chest feels like it's just popping. But I didn't know I was having a mild heart attack. I didn't know. I went to the hospital, sure enough. Okay, so then they gave me the test and everything. They came to observe me overnight. They sent me home, I think, 2 days later. That still didn't do anything for me. Now, this time they gave me painkillers. They gave me all sorts of drugs. And then by 49, I was like, I couldn't even drive no more. I used to get dizzy. I couldn't even wash my teeth in the sink because I'd be falling asleep. It was bad. And so I thought that I wasn't taking enough pills. So I would take more pills, which actually was counter-effective. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, at age 50, I remember I was like, at age 50, I'm sitting watching a football game. I was big. I was eating Doritos and my Diet Coke. Forget about it. It was the worst thing you could have. So I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the game. I have this gut, it's like really popping out. And Dorito chips start falling on top of me, and the chips were falling, but they would just stay on top of my belly. And I looked down and I looked at myself with disgust. I said, what the happened to you, fam? What happened to you? And I saw the picture when I was, 120, 130 in my younger years, and I'm over here 3 times almost the size. I said, what happened to you? I was like, no, I'm going to die. So anyway, I made an appointment with the doctors. I got my blood work and everything. And when I went to the doctor at 50, I got that blood work, and I came in. He goes, all right, Mr. Zambrano, your numbers don't look too good. My A1C was 9 something. Only supposed to be 7 or 6, 7, whatever.
Wow.
And he says, well, you're going to be a diabetic the rest of your life. We're going to give you more. We're going to raise your milligrams and all this other stuff. If that doesn't work, we're going to have to give you the pump. You know, they put on your arms and then when when your sugar goes down, it pumps you with insulin. I said, oh my God, I go home. I said, no, it's got to be something better. And she told me, no, you're going to be a diabetic the rest of your life. She raised all the milligrams on my meds and everything, plus more painkillers and everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like Skittles, like I tell people. I was like, no, there's got to be a better way. In my mind, I said, no, it's got to be a better way. I went home. I went on the computer, and really the only thing I typed was how to control diabetes type 2. I went on Google, and I went on YouTube. At that time, that was 2013. And I started reading, looking up, and things like that, and I learned about how animal products, the fat itself, is what produces diabetes because it clogs our arteries. And that doesn't let the insulin go in. So it's not sugar. That's the biggest lie there is. It's not sugar. It's like when you have a lock, right?
Yeah.
And where the key goes, and you take a piece of gum, you put a piece of gum. So anybody that comes with the key and tries to open, it's not going to open it. Can't open it because a piece of gum. So what we got to do? Remove the gum so you can open the door. Same thing with diabetes.
Wow.
Let's remove the animal fat. The insulin will start flowing in, and you will reverse it. It's just that simple. Diabetes type 2. Type 1 is, generic. But
Yeah.
So I started. I said, okay, I can do this. I went, and I went to the gym. I joined, and I started changing my diet. I started I started watching videos and everything. Then I saw doctors be having talking engagement. I drove, and I used to go. I even went to Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to listen. And I was like, this is like, oh my God. So this time I started going to the gym, and little by little started losing weight. Now, when I got in the treadmill, I couldn't even do 2 minutes. I'll be like, I was freaking tired. But I went to the gym like everybody else. I put plastic on, the hat. I couldn't breathe. I should have just taken it easy, but I didn't know no better. So I was like, oh my God. So anyway.
You were kind of desperate at that point.
Yeah,
you
yes.
wanted to get better.
Exactly. I wanted to live. It's like you guys ever seen the movie, The Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
He said, well, it comes to one thing, Red, get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
Either you get busy living or you get busy dying. And that's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
When you go through McDonald's, you're getting busy dying.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to take the time and buy some healthier food, you're getting busy living. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're sitting on the couch 3 hours a day, you're getting busy dying. So we make a choice. And that always came to mind. So I got busy living. I joined the gym, and one day I would do 5 minutes. Next day I may do 7 minutes. And this is just walking, not even running. And little by little, I just started changing my diet. I started removing animal products. It took me 1.5 years. And the first thing that I learned was that dairy is very inflammatory, and it's bad for diabetics because of the hormones and everything that's in it. Dairy is the worst thing you can have these days. Gives you a lot of inflammation. It creates mucus. And mucus is the base of all disease. Mucus, So I said, okay. So I said, and I was a grown-up about it. That's what I tell people these days. Be a grown-up about your health.
Yeah.
Because I listen to a lot of people that used to, give advice, 50 years old. Oh, man, I don't know if I could give up cheese. Then what are you here for? You're 50 years old. You already ate all the cheese you had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like you're a teenager saying, oh, but I like cheese. Okay, they just experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're 50 years old. You're diabetic. You're 3,000 pounds. And you're going to tell me I can't give up cheese? Then you're with the wrong person. And I talk like this very serious.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they walked out. So I'm not going to have,
And the advice you gave earlier about patience, that probably applies here.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So then I removed dairy. Boom. I mean, everything, ice cream, milk, whatever it was, had dairy, I removed it. And then 3 months later, I kept doing my research, and then I went to pork. I found out how pork is bad for you, and actually you can never really cook it hot enough to remove the worms of that. That's why a lot of, when you eat pork a lot, your stomach hurts because you got little things crawling in there now.
Wow.
Yeah, very bad. There's no way of heating up that meat without having worms. So I learned that. I said, okay, boom, I gave that up. That was 3 months later.
Wow.
Then from there, I went to, I believe it was beef, and I started eating grass-fed beef. But I couldn't find it. So I stopped eating red beef. Meat.
Why is grass-fed beef better than grass-fed cow and then finish his life with corn?
Yeah, so...
Because it
right
produces
now,
more fat, maybe?
No, the grass-fed that's what they're supposed to eat, grass, cows.
Yeah.
That's how they make the milk and everything, That's what you're supposed to. But now these days, they fed grains,
To get fatty.
Yeah, they plump them up, and whatever was meant for 3 years, they plump them up in 6 months.
Right.
What they do, what the dairy industry does these days, and the meat industry, it's horrific. I mean, if you got the gut, you know, the stomach, watch some videos. It's not that cow we saw 100 years ago where, you know, grandma was in the yard and everything, and they butchered it. It was good meat back then. Now, what we're eating is the worst.
It's fast food. Even though
it's called fast because it takes us to the graves very fast. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah.
So anyway, so I said, you know what? I let go of meat, and then I went to I believe fish, and then tuna fish, and I went all down the line to the last thing. Then I gave up shellfish. Shellfish was my ultimate. And then I gave up shellfish.
That was your favorite.
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, I used to love calamari. Forget about it. With and clams.
Yeah.
No, it's just
Ceviche.
God. Oh, ceviche, exactly. So, and then the good point here is that I'm cutting down on things. I'm replacing it with other things, of course. Mm-hmm. I'm replacing it with a lot of beans, a lot of lentils, a lot of quinoa, a lot of healthy things. You know. So, but I also at the same time I was losing weight. So I started liking myself. I said, wow, and the pants, you know, I put on, they were a little loose. I said, wow, you know, so I started like, okay. And I started feeling good about myself.
You look better, you feel better.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You know, so another quote that I like also by Maya Angelou, she said, I did then what I knew how to do, but now that I know better, I do better.
Yeah.
It's 100% a point with everything else in life. That's why, you know, as we grow up, we do make better choices. So anyway, so a year and a half later, the last thing I gave up was eggs. Ooh. And I used to love eggs, you know, and
every morning,
you know, and so I gave up eggs. I actually went to a conference. I learned about the effect of eggs in the body. Just one egg has enough bad cholesterol to last you for a week. And that's why they push it. And you know how they push it? You need your protein. And quite honestly, eggs don't really have too much protein, no more than broccoli, you know. So, but that's what they do, those industries. They make you think, like, you know, when they came years ago with the pork, the other white meat.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to make you buy more. Mm-hmm. You know, they're there for money. Yeah. I don't blame them. We just got to educate ourselves as consumers.
But we also buy a lot of it. So they're going to produce what we buy.
Yeah, exactly. And the more you buy, the more they produce.
And I'll be honest about, I've been actually very interested in veganism.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see is that it's very difficult to do.
Yeah,
maybe for you it's easy right now, but for someone coming out of
but it took me it took me a year and a half though. You see how I did it? I did it little by little by little, and that's what I teach today. A lot of people say, "Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna go vegan." No, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
But those are just the cravings. Yeah. But what about going to a grocery store and actually trying to find something
and these
good
days,
to eat as a replacement?
Yeah, these days is a lot. When I started in 2013, there was nothing out there.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to cook. A Latino man know how to cook. When his ex-wife used to cook all the time, I didn't know how to do it. I started buying the rice at the back so I could boil them because I didn't know how to make rice.
Oh my God.
And then I didn't know how to make lentils. I bought a lot of canned food. But I taught myself. And I learned how to cook healthier, you know? Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. We got to take responsibility. We have to learn how to cook. We got to say, okay, we got to take the time and say, okay, this thing over here, oh my God, look what it's got. Okay, I'm not going to take the time out to read labels, you know? We can't just go grabbing things. You know, because a commercial says it's good. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do in TV commercials. So anyway, so a year and a half later, I stopped. You know, I kept exercising, losing weight. I went back to my doctor maybe like a couple of months after I stopped eating eggs. I got my blood work. And the same doctor said I was going to be diabetic all my life. I walk in and she goes, you look different. You lost weight? I said, yeah, I'll be exercising, eating better. I said, you know, stop eating animals. I said, yeah, exercise. Okay, good. And I want to talk to you about your blood work. I said, oh my God. So by this time, I used to check my blood every day. And if everything was good, I didn't take no medicine. So 4 months before I stopped eating eggs, all my numbers were looking good. So I didn't take medicine. Wow. So I stopped taking medicine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I check myself in the morning, before breakfast, after breakfast, lunch, before lunch, after lunch, at dinner, before dinner, after dinner. My fingertips were black from testing it. But again, I was on a mission. I wanted to know. And then I stopped, and then the doctor goes, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't see no sign of diabetes. She goes, no sign. The doctor said that.
Wow.
Yeah. She goes, would you still like your prescriptions? I go,
No.
But you see how they still try though, you know?
Yeah.
So I said no, and that was mid 2014. I started in 2013. And since then I haven't taken no meds, nothing.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been med free, and that was, you know. But again, because I took responsibility on my health.
Question for you: did you have high blood pressure as well?
Of course.
And the change of diet got rid of that too?
High blood pressure is high blood pressure is blood in your arteries. I mean fat in your arteries. We go back to the animal fat. So that animal fat is in your arteries, which constricts your arteries, which makes it harder for blood to get there. So that's why you get high blood pressure, because there's no blood going, and the arteries are choking you inside there.
Yeah.
You see, they're
Creates
choking you.
hypertension,
Hypertension. So the blood is not flowing the way it should. So I just had a friend of mine, actually, he had the same thing. I told him, okay, the next 90 days, you want to live, this is what you got to do. Go on all greens to smooth and start eating more plants and more veggies and things like that. I go, no animal fat, especially red meat, you know. You could eat more fish, that's good. And I gave some instructions to eat chicken and things like that, but less, no red meat whatsoever. That's what the advice I go. And a lot of greens. You don't really have to eat fruit, but the greens. So the greens, they actually clean your arteries. So we have this thing that's a body produces called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes the veins so blood can flow. You get that from beets, watermelon, anything red, really. I mean, God created everything. I mean, it doesn't take a brains to know what that veggie helps. You know what I mean? You see a thing of celery, it looks like bones. It's for your bones.
Oh, wow.
You know, you see cauliflower, when you cut it, it looks like your brains. It's good for you.
Some people might say celery is just water.
Yeah, I know. But it has nutrients that actually, when you eat it, the body knows where to send it.
Where to put it. Okay.
The body's so smart. You know? It's like he knows when he eats something, where to go. Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable, the body. So this, eating beet, one beet a day with a baby spinach salad with lemon, that helps you create more nitric oxide, you know? And that helps relax the vein. And when you do that and you stop eating animal products, more blood is going to start flowing, especially as men, we know. You know, and that's why a lot of people, like, you get very sleepy sometimes because there's no blood going to your brain. So you get sleepy, you get tired, no blood going to it, because that's the beginnings. When you start getting foggy like that, it's because your arteries are getting clogged. You know, and what's the science today? Yeah, well, cut it out, put something else in there. No, just
drugs.
Or drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and they give you blood thinners. They have me on blood thinners. So what happened? It only thins the blood, which makes you dizzy. You know, it makes you dizzy because of the full concentrated blood is not getting to your brain.
It's probably creating a time bomb for you, because if you're thinning the blood but you continue the habit of eating bad, when you're not on that drug, it's probably over for you.
Exactly. It's like taking this liter of oil, right? And you're supposed to put the whole liter of oil in your car, right? But you know what? You want to save, so you can't put the whole thing, so you take half of oil and then you mix it with water and you put that in. So now it's running on thin oil. So what's going to happen to your cylinder, your engine? It's going to burn out quicker. Yeah. That's what happens. The heart just says, example. I wasn't made for this.
Yeah.
But they won't tell you that, you know. But again, it's our responsibility to go to research. You got something wrong, your bone, something hurts in your body, research it.
Yeah.
If go on Google it. You don't have to. Do you know a friend? Call a friend.
So let me ask you this real quick. Yeah. So if you're, if you know you love eggs every morning, you have to create an alternative meal for that meal. Yeah. Because that's the way we trick ourselves, right? Exactly, to creating another habit. Yeah. So what? Give us an example of what you replace eggs with in the morning that makes you feel like you don't need the eggs anymore.
So
other than the health benefits.
Yeah. So with eggs, let's say in the mornings, okay, with breakfast. Breakfast, we've been taught to eat. They say it's the most important meal of the day, which is a lie. It's the most important meal of the day if the day before your meals had no nutrients in it. So what happened? We eat a lot of food that has no nutrients on it, no caloric value. Mm-hmm. So by the next morning, we're tired, we're exhausted, we're hungry because there was nothing in that meal that the body can use. And all you do is go to the bathroom, release it, and there's those nutrients. So your body's still hungry. You wake up hungry. You're like, God, I'm so hungry. Because the day before, there was no nutrients in that food. So now that you're taught, they tell you, and they know all this. And in the morning, you starve. Okay, have some bacon, have some eggs, have this, have orange juice and everything. That's going to get you good. All that right there is all they're going to do is raise your sugar, make you feel good, and then by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, you're going to crash. Especially orange juice. Orange juice is the worst thing to drink in the morning. Yeah, unless you squeeze it yourself. But that stuff in the store, it's the worst. It's all sugar.
Gotcha.
It's all sugar. Don't Tropicana, don't let them even fool you. All that is garbage.
Especially the concentrate ones.
Oh, the concentrate. So what they do with the orange juice, they get all the oranges, they squeeze all of them out, right? When they squeeze all of them out, they put them in those big tanks, right? From that tanks, they put a machine that sucks all the nutrients out of the juice, so it won't go bad. You see, because the nutrients after a while ages, and it's like a banana when you see it go run, because it's the nutrients. But they suck everything out. Then they take this imitation orange color, which is all sugars and everything, and they pour it in the tank. And that's where you get that orange juice. So there's no nutritional value in orange juice and those things. Wow. Squeeze it yourself if you want orange juice. Yeah, there's no nutritional. That's why fresh squeeze is better, and you got to make sure it's fresh squeeze. But again, so what I started doing in the mornings, I like fruit, like papaya and things like that. So I started supplementing fruit in the morning instead. So I used to take a papaya nice and ripe. I'll buy 2 or 3. I'll put it in the counter. When they start getting soft, the night before I put it in the fridge, because when you put it in the fridge the night before, it actually gets nice and sweet. So I take it in the morning. I take it out, let it warm up, because I don't like cold fruit really. I cut it in half. I take the seeds out, and it becomes like a little bowl. So I used to put and I still do to this, like chia seeds, some coconut flakes, things like that to make it, or sometimes berries in there, I put inside there, and it fills you up. And you're eating fiber. That's what's lacking in the diet today is fiber. People are not eating enough fiber. Meat doesn't have fiber.
That's true.
No, you're right.
That's true.
And so that's why plants and everything, the only thing that contains fiber is plants. So you eat more fruit. And that's why I tell people, if you're in a rush, make a smoothie, But if you could take the time out to just eat it raw, now you're getting everything. Because what happens when you drink a lot of smoothies in the morning, you notice that you have it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Again, by 10 o'clock, you're hungry. Because what happens is when you take this, you drink it, you bypass this right here, masticate.
Yeah.
And it goes right here. So your brain doesn't record anything masticated. So your brain says, you never gave me anything to eat. So when you chew, your brain is recording because this is all part of the digestive system.
Yeah.
That's why we got to learn how to chew more.
It probably metabolizes.
Yeah, yeah. And the body tells, okay, that's enough, I'm full.
Yeah, I heard when you eat something and you're chewing, after 15 minutes, your brain tells you you're full.
Yeah. So exactly, in our culture now, we work so hard, we work so late, that we get a piece of steak, we take it down in three bites. And then we chase it with water, and that steak stays in our system for 3-4 days. And that's where we wake up constipated, and we don't have good bowel movements, we sweat a lot, and we're like, why am I so hot? Are you hot?
So here we go again. Be patient even with your meal. Yes.
Be patient, yeah. And take your time, like cut it like ropa vieja, like shredded beef.
Oh, yeah.
And you digest it even better,
That's something I want to ask you. How do you overcome, like, being Latino? When we go to family, they got arroz con dulces, pernil.
Oh, yeah.
They got all this food that you can't eat,
yeah.
right? Because you chose to be vegan.
Right.
So what do you do in those situations when you go to those family gatherings?
Yeah. So it could go either way. You got some family that said, all right, good for you. Taking care of yourself. Good. Other was, oh, my God.
You don't know how to live.
You don't know how to live. You're not even going to die. That's anyway. Things like that, So I learned how to deal with it. But every time I go to family gatherings, I eat before I go. Anytime I go somewhere, even if I'm going out with friends to a restaurant, I eat. So when I get to the restaurant, I'm not hungry. So, and I usually call the restaurant and say, okay, what you have anything there, any healthy options? So while you go there, you already know there's something there. You see what I'm saying? And you know what to order, and you're not hungry, you're not starving. All you got to do is just pick because your friends are eating. You see? A lot of times I tell people, I eat at home, and I only leave enough room for beer when I go out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with family gatherings, it could go either way. My family wasn't very receptive. So at the end of the day, I had to make a choice. Either I'm going to live the way I want to live, or I'm going to live the way they want to live.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 9 years later, they're still all overweight. They're still all diabetic. I lost weight. I reversed my diabetes because of a choice I made. If I would have listened to them, I would have been doing the same thing. I would have been still diabetic and very obese.
Yeah.
And they're all on meds. You know?
I mean, they haven't had their rock bottom like you.
Yeah.
And luckily, you took a look at yourself and you
Yeah.
had that aha moment.
Yeah. And, you know, it's unfortunately in a lot of, it's unfortunately, but a lot of them will stop talking to you. Because, you know, you bring out what they need to do.
Oh,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
interesting.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like even with your business, for example,
Yeah,
you
same
find
thing.
success.
Yeah.
Some people will stop talking to you
Oh,
because
yes.
they can't face that.
Exactly. Once you become successful in anything, you know, the more you climb, the lonelier it gets. And everything and anything, especially in business. You know,
Yeah.
you come from, let's say you come from the streets, everybody, oh, this guy's a loser, this guy's never going to make it. All of a sudden you start making moves and you become successful.
Yeah.
Nobody talks to you though.
How does being vegan help you in your business?
Oh, forget about it. It's give me a lot more energy here. I'm going on 60 and I still get busy with my boys if I have to. I do a lot of, you know, and I just feel great. It actually helps the business because when I go see customers, you know, they look at me like once I went to see a couple of times, I went to see a customer and then, you know, I go, yes, how you doing? Fabrizio, I'm here to, you know, whatever, an estimate of it. And I had this older guy, he looks like this, he goes, you're Fabrizio? I say, yes. He goes, Maron. He goes, I expected this little short Luigi-looking guy. Like I go like this with thick hands, right? He say, yeah, like that. I said, no. He goes, wow, okay, good for you. But, you know, because I already had this mental thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it helps because, you know, I'm more confident, so I'm able to talk more confident. And I'm able to look at them in the eye. I'm able to make jokes with them. I'm able to be normal with them. I don't have to put up a front like I know, like I'm, you know, like when I first started doing my business, I used to carry this thing with a measuring tape and everything so I could look professional, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get tied to the idea of it all.
Exactly.
And once you actually become it, I mean, it's...
Exactly. So it's the same thing. So it's more confident. Veganism gave me more confidence, more life. And again, check this out. If I wouldn't have made the difference in 2013, I definitely would have died. I was headed that way, which means that today there will be no Fabrizio and Sons.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
There will be no Fabrizio and Sons. My sons would have been working someplace else. The Marble legacy would have died. They were too young. There was no business structure.
That's probably the best way
Yeah.
veganism has helped your business.
It helped,
Your
yeah.
2 kids, your family business,
Yeah.
37 years
Yeah.
of business.
Exactly. Now it's feeding their family and everything. I could have just been, my dad died at 50 of diabetes and a heart attack. I could have still kept the same pattern that our families have had.
Yeah.
But I changed it. You know, I saw.
You broke the chain.
You got to. And I always say, somebody's got to go to the cross. If you want your family to live, somebody has to go to the cross, which means somebody has to die. Somebody has to die. And you say, I saw a meme once. He said a picture. This guy's like this, you know, and there was like a drawing. He said diabetes. He says no. He goes. It stops right here. That was powerful, and that equals with everything. That's with health, poverty, anything. This stops right here. But somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
But no. Everybody says, no, you know, I'll let my kids or I'll let somebody else do it. Somebody's got to do it. And I'm so glad because I'm able now to see my boys reaping the effects of the business. They're feeding their families. They're my grandkids, you know?
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful.
are both your boys vegan also?
No, my younger son is 50-50. My older son, no. But, you know, it's like my older son, he's heavy, you know? But I know that I'm living a legacy that maybe when he gets to be my age, he said, Dad did it. I got to do something because now I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving a legacy of life. Now, you know, my dad, he died at 50, diabetes, you know, blah, blah.
Yeah, some people have to like go through something
Yeah.
before they can make a change.
You got to, and sometimes you got to be, you got to hit
I mean,
rock
you
bottom.
did the same way.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing.
It's
You
that,
got
it's that wake-up call
yeah.
Yeah.
when you say, wow, I need to
Yeah,
change.
you need a change. And a lot of people grab it, that second chance, a lot of people don't. But it all depends on the individual. I grabbed it. I said, no, I don't want to die, man. I don't want to die at 50. You know, at 47, I tell you, when I had the heart attack, I was like, my heart was like, oh my God. And now I'm sitting in the ICU and cold blue, cold red, and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. And 90-year-old people around me. I said, Fab, what's going on with you, man? Like, oh my God, this is where you end up? But again, you know, I always say my best advice is take it one day at a time. Choose a day where you're going to, and if you're going to eat red meat or you still want to, eat it between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. Don't eat it at nighttime when you go home from work. Bring it to work with you. You eat it because you know what? You got to have enough time to walk it off, and you got to have enough time to go to the bathroom before you go to bed. Have good bowel movement because you're digesting because you're walking. It's traveling down. So the problem with a lot of our culture is we eat that because we're hard workers. So we get home at 9 o'clock and that's when we eat.
Right.
And we want the biggest meal because we've been starving all day because that's what we've been taught. So I tell people just flip it the other way around. If you cook it or your lady, whoever, tell them to make the dinner for tomorrow. Make it for you that night. So next time you bring it to lunch. If you eat that between 1 and 3, by the time you get home, you're not really going to be that hungry. And if you put a lot of stuff in your plate, you're not going to finish it.
That's true.
You're not going to finish. I always tell people, like, if you know you're going to go home and there's a big meal, before you go home or even in your house, an hour before, eat a nice salad. Not lettuce, but eat yourself like a bean salad. With garbanzo bean, with chickpeas, with things like that, kidney beans. Have a nice, it don't have to be big, just a small bowl. You eat that. So all those beans, they release nutrients little by little. It's like an IV. Boom, boom, boom. That's how it feeds the body. So by the time you get home and you sit in front of it and you think you're going to eat that, you won't even be able to finish it because now your gut is full. Yeah. You have good fiber in there that keeps you full and that hunger feeling goes away. And you probably, instead of eating a big steak like that, you say, I'm just going to eat half today. I'll save that next, for tomorrow. So you start new trends. But you got to try. You got to step out there,
I would say the biggest challenge with being vegan, right? Or just eating healthy at all is when you don't have time.
Yeah.
And you got to go to an appointment and you haven't ate, and what is there?
Yeah.
10,000 drive-thrus.
Yeah, I know.
But there's no drive-through for a vegan.
No. And that's it's not. It's a big, especially entrepreneurs, they have it tough, and people are still building businesses. We got no time. But again, we have to make time. We have to, so you sleep 8 hours, maybe sleep only 6. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We have to make those choices. I mean, we can't have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you want to eat healthy or you want to do something, or you want to maybe do a half an hour in the gym, wake up early.
Yeah, we make all these priorities, but we should prioritize
for
your health and food. And
exactly. Let's prioritize that. Let's, okay, I'm going to get, I usually sleep till 7. No, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6:30, and I'm going to make my lunch. I'm going to be, and buy power bars if you have to. The good, healthy vegan power bars, good protein, good carbs. Throw that thing in your bag, everything. So whenever you're hungry, you take one of those. I make my own trail mix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so what I do is I go to Sprouts. Now I buy the unsalted organic one. So I buy some cashews, some peanuts, some raisins and things like that. I take all that, put it in a big Ziploc or in a big Tupperware, and I make my own trail mix. I mix it up. No sugars, no nothing, no salt. And then during the day, I take a Ziploc and I take some from the Tupperware, I put it inside there. And that's like when I drive, I eat it.
Yeah.
So in that day, if you want something sweet, you throw more raisins in it, or dates if you want. Dates are expensive, but raisins are good too. If you want something salty, take some Himalayan salt, the pink one, put it in the Ziploc. So you got both of both worlds. You're eating clean, no oils, because all the peanuts you buy canned, all that stuff contains oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the oil is the problem. Oil and dairy they put that in every food now, So you got to really be careful with oils. So make your own trail mix. Take the time one day, instead of going today and relaxing somewhere, I'm going to go to Sprouts. I'm going to buy my things. I'm going to buy a Tupperware, make my trail mix. So I got something in the car that's going to take care of me, But I carry some water in there, Try not to eat sugary drinks, no Powerade, no nothing like that.
Yeah.
Try to have more water, because that's going to help you, go to the bathroom. Number 2.
Did you have a source to go to start learning about all this stuff, or you just?
No, I just did a lot of homework. Again, I want to live. Yeah. I went to Google this and that. And I would listen. Nah, this doesn't sound right. Then I went to another one. I used to binge from all night. I couldn't even sleep. But and what made me even feel better is that I started seeing the change. I said, okay, Fab, keep going.
Yeah, there's your affirmation, right?
Yeah, exactly. Once you become your own motivation, the rest is easy. Yeah. Easy. That's why I tell people, do it. If somebody motivates you, take their recipe, but build your own, create your own recipe, but you become the motivation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to do it. And I'm not saying you have to go 100% vegan. I think that we gotta learn how to eat also properly. Like a lot of, like I used to tell my patients, it's like chicken. Oh, I love chicken. Okay, good. This is what we're going to do with your chicken. What I started doing when I started little by little, I go, don't buy the Publix chicken. Don't buy that where they put it right at the door, because you can smell it and you say, okay, I'm going to grab this. That's the worst thing you could eat. Don't go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Don't buy nothing deep fried. Don't go to those chicken. Go to the supermarket. Try to get the best chicken, healthier, the organic or whatever they say. take that, just raw, boil it, put it in a pot, boil it, shred it, and put that in the Tupperware, right? Or put it in different bags of portions that that you eat. No salt, no nothing. Just you peel it, you throw it out, and you keep it. Okay? Now, next day, you say, you know what? You got the chicken in the fridge, right? So now you bring it from the freezer, you put it down, and once it warms up, you can. That day you feel like tacos, you flavor it like tacos. You take tacos oil, you make tacos with it.
Yeah.
So, but it's clean meat. There's no fat in it because you boil it already. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So now, because
boiling it melts the fat off.
It melts the fat off everything, and you see it when you boil it, the oil and stuff, and then you drain it, you clean it, you wash it in a strainer, you wash it, and you put it in the refrigerator. Then, if you want chicken soup, you take the chicken, you put it in the soup. There's no, that it's, but it's healthy chicken. You could even buy if you want to taste more like chicken, because a lot of times we like it because the chewing part, it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
So you even buy the chicken cubes that you make soup with.
Bouillon.
Yeah, exactly. And you put the chicken in, you get a nice chicken soup. Throw some veggies in there.
Most of those things have MSG.
Yeah.
You gotta buy the right one.
Yeah, they got vegan ones. They're soy free and everything now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're very it's Sprouts you get them. I use them when I make soup. Or you make you buy the broth, vegetable broth, the organics that come in a container.
Sprouts, send Fab a check.
Yeah, really, right? I need a check.
I'm on my way.
I know. But you see, so there's ways, and if you, like I said, you want to eat your red meat, only try to have it maybe the most 3 times a week. But 2 is better, but 1 is best. And nothing is even way better, Fish, also. So try to alternate your meats. Eat more closer to like between 1 and 3. At nighttime, maybe if you want, you could have like a nice soup, maybe like a vegetable soup, or maybe some wraps, things like that. So now you're not eating that big stuff and you're going to bed all like full, And anyway, so you eat that at breakfast. Try to have, it's not the most important, part of the day, food of the day. Have some more fruit. Fruit gives you energy. Mm-hmm. But try it, you know what I'm saying? Don't just say I'm not going to like it. Now I'm into I like my oatmeal now. I take oatmeal and I put agave in it. I put some berries. I put berries, strawberries. I sweeten it with agave. Forget about it. I think it's and it's good fiber and everything. I tell you, you're never going to have a better time in the bathroom than when you start eating fiber. I'll tell you, it's like a car. It's like you're having like a car, and you stuff in the muffler. And the engine's like, because you can't breathe. And you take all the from the muffler and then forget about it. It's the best.
That's funny.
It's
clean eating.
Clean eating. Yeah. So and it start one day at a time. Like I said, okay, put a day that that you're not doing much, a day that you're not going to need too much energy in your body. Make that like a juice day. Make that like a smoothie day. Make that like a salad day. Make that day like you have more greens, because that's going to help you clean. Next day, maybe make that the fish day. Which is, meat, and from there, and then maybe you go to chicken, and then maybe you have another juice, greens day, and then maybe you have the meat. But you got to alternate. But, as especially in our traditions, we eat the same thing every day.
Rice every day.
Rice, beans, chicken.
Listen,
beans,
even if there's pasta.
That's right. That's
rice.
Mom. Yeah. Mom used to do that. And I attribute that to, most of us grew up not having.
Yeah.
Okay. So our parents did the best they could with what they had. And they knew the pasta and rice will fill us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they wanted to see. I mean, my mother used to cook with lard because it was, the cheapest thing there. I remember a block was only like 59 cents back in the day. And that's what my mother cooked with lard. She fed us a lot of rice, a lot of pasta, because that thing was cheap. Back in the days, the 70s and 80s, I remember the chicken was cheap. You could buy the legs, a whole 20 pack, I think, for $3.
Yeah.
So my mother, like I said, she did what she knew how to do, But we can't say, that's tradition. That's what, Mom cooked. No, Mom had to do that. Dad had to do that because we grew up without, But they kept us healthy. They kept us breathing, But now we know better. Now we know that lard is no good. That stays in your arteries. Now we know that other thing, the animals that my mom used to buy back then was not the same animals today. So we got to start making changes, I had a friend, my age, heavy. Hey, Fab, I want to do it. I go, yeah, bro, you better do it. You're not very blunt. I said, you're diabetic, right? He said, yeah. You go, yeah. I go, you're carrying a lot of weight, brother. You better watch it, You stop eating that stuff. Nah, bro, bro. Soy Latino, man. That's my tradition, bro. I got to eat that. I can't give that up, bro. You know, but I said, okay, Papa, so you. I'm just telling you what you should do, you know. No lie, 3 months later, he went to bed, had a heart attack, and died.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
my
how close it is. People don't get it. People think it's a joke. I had another friend, quick. When I started my journey, he saw me losing weight. Him and I went to high school together. We both got humongous. He saw that I started losing weight. He said, I've been talking to my doctor. I want to do what you did. I said, okay, let me know. And in November, I forgot what year it was, 2014, 2015, we drove to New York, you know, him, I had some friends. And he said, okay, I got to get some breakfast, some lunch. He stopped at IHOP. I go, bro, what are you eating that for? You know? Nah, bro, you know what, man? Comes January, that's it, bro. I'm in, all in. I'm going to stop. I go, it doesn't happen that way. Nah, bro, I'm going to do it. I just enjoying my last meals, you know? Boom. January came. I didn't get he used to live in Orlando. I didn't get a call for, you know, we came back to Florida. He went to Orlando. I didn't hear from him. I said, look at this guy. He's like, he don't want to do it, so he don't want to call me. Found out a month later that he went to a diabetic coma.
Oh.
Oh.
He went to a diabetic coma. And then, so that was February or March. And August of the same year, they pulled the plug because he never came back.
Oh, my gosh.
Because
Man,
he said he thought he had tomorrow. He thought he had tomorrow. It's like, we don't have tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's because of food, too.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. We kill ourselves.
Everybody always says that.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, no. You know, it's like, got to start making differences, you know, and like, you know, we're all parents. You know, I remember once my mom, too, I was 28. I learned a lot from my mom, you know. I bought me a motorcycle. I think I was 26, whatever. I bought me a nice motorcycle. And it was that time when I was just, you know, started doing some side work with the mom, and I bought me a motorcycle. And I said, I'm going to show Mom, you know. And then I pull up to a house, and it was something like this, second floor. And I get off the bike. I left in front of the house. I ring the bell. And I sit on the bike. So, you know, I was proud, you know. Like my first little toy, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a car at that time. I bought my bike. My mother opened the window. In Spanish, she goes, ¿Qué es esa porquería? She goes, what's that garbage, you know? She goes, esa porquería. She goes like, bota eso. She goes, throw that away. I go, why, Ma? She goes, in Spanish, I say in English. She goes, porque tu vida no te pertenece a ti, te pertenece a tus hijos. She goes, your life don't belong to you anymore. My kids were like 2 years old, 3 years old. Your life don't belong to you anymore. It belongs to them. I go, get rid of that crap, she said. Sure enough, about a month later, I fell. And how worse came back, and I got rid of it. So I never bought a bike again. But you see, it's like once you become our responsibility, they're looking up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Like you said, your boy said, I want to take over the business.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know? But let's give him more. You know, let's give him more, you know? And I know that even though, like my oldest son right now, he's not following my footsteps, but I know later on, because he's going to, I hate to say it, but he's going to suffer the same thing I did. You know? But at least now he got somebody to look up to. Somebody say, you know, Dad did it. I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, you set an example.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power. This is what I see the power in knowledge when people
Yeah.
say that, is that when you know something,
Yeah.
you know. Like
You know.
Maya Angelou, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When you know to do better, just do better.
Just do better. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's still a simple
Yeah.
quote, but
Yeah.
it's very powerful.
it's very powerful. It's like, you know, there's that quote in the Bible that says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. That's where we perish. It's not what we do. It's the lack of knowledge. And there's a lot of knowledge out there now. You have to go over there, do your homework. You know, if you feel something, you know what? I think I'm not doing too good. I think I better do better. Research it. Call a friend. I don't text a friend. I don't know, hey, I'm having this issue. You know, how did you turn it around?
Yeah.
Because we got people looking up to us, you know. It's now I got grandkids. Now I got 5 grandkids, you know. And they're looking at me, you know. It's like, so that I know that maybe 20 years from now when they're like 30 and I'm like 80 or 90, or maybe I'm not around or whatever, they say, Dad, you know, my grandpa was a bad. Shut your mouth. She's talking about grandpa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they got recollection.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't have no recollection, again, you know, I like to put little samples. You know, I feel like Jesus sometimes with all these parables. You know, but you know, the movie Superman.
Yeah.
You know, where he went to the North Pole to find out about his father and all this other stuff. What did his Jor-El? What did he leave him? He left him. Jor-El was Superman, no, but his father, whatever, I forgot his name. And Kal-El, something like that, right? He left them crystals. That every time he went up to the North Pole, he wanted to. His father said something. He took a crystal and he dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
And then his father came up and said, "Yes, my son." Blah 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 blah. We gotta leave crystals behind, because if we don't, they're gonna have nothing to reverse.
I love that.
We gotta leave crystal behind.
That's a nice.
Wow.
That's a gem right there.
It's another takeaway. You got a lot of takeaways, man. That's awesome.
through pain, because I learned through pain. Pain is the
Honestly,
best teacher.
This is one of the reasons why we do the show, is because there's so many interesting people out there that have done things, have lived through things, and if someone could just hear this podcast and apply some of the stuff that you mentioned today, you might make somebody's life that much better.
Just one person.
Yeah.
It says a life for a life, and a lot of times that looks like we take it a negative way, like we take it, like when you take somebody's life. No, but a life for life also means you giving life to somebody. Somebody gave, somebody, I always say, I always credit somebody for telling me something. I know this just didn't dawn on me one day.
Yeah.
Somebody must have told me something somewhere that I said, you know what, let me check this out. He gave me life, and look, he brought me now, or she. And now you pass it on, you know what I mean? And you got to keep paying it forward. It's like, I was at a speaking engagement in South Florida, and this lady walked in, and she thought it was a veg fest, but she thought it was a Greek fest. She can't get ready. She came ready to eat meat and lamb and this and that. And she goes, I thought this was a veg fest. I go, what, she goes, you were the one talking up there, right? I like something you said. I said, what was that? She goes, that you got tired of being sick and tired. I go, let me tell you my story. She goes, I have a doctor's appointment every day this week. I have everything wrong with me. I go, I'm only 47.
Wow.
I go like this. And she was hearing me speak. She goes, I didn't know about this plant-based stuff. I didn't know that can help me. And she goes, that day was like the best payment ever. She goes, I think you saved my life. Thank you.
Wow.
I know. I was like, but you see, she just walked in. She goes, I came over here for me, but I think that universe or something else and plan for me.
Yeah. It's funny that you did something for you and it had a positive impact on your life.
Yeah.
But in some other way, you're helping so many people fix their lives.
And I know that I've been called to do this, and that's why you call me the time I need you in Taiwan tomorrow to give 5-minute speech, I will do it. Wow. Because that day somebody may be there that may be his last day, and that day he can make or she make a change and change the whole family.
One thing I tell all my friends and family is it doesn't matter how much money you make. Health is wealth. Yeah. And if you want to enjoy your life with that money you make, you need to take care of your body.
You need to take care of your body and everything. I mean, you want to be out there playing with your kids, playing with your grandkids. You want to be around 30 years from now and see those grandkids,
Yeah.
You want to be, and you don't want to sit in a chair like that guy that I used to be. That guy, right now, if he was still around, he would have been probably like 400 pounds, sitting in a chair like those people you see in Walmart, not enjoying the grandkids. But now I'm in the floor with them, I'm rolling with them, it's like amazing. That right there is such a gift to be able to play with my grandkids. And I'm hoping to be around to see my great-grandkids. I'm shooting for that.
The funny thing is, you look like maybe you could be 40, or younger. And you keep talking about all these years, and I'm like, how old is this guy? I know how old you are, but do you want to share it?
60. I'll be 60 in May.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you. And again, it's a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination of exercise, good food, commitment to yourself, and definitely stay away from toxic food and toxic people.
I think that's a good one right there.
That negative energy will bring you down.
It's so true.
Yeah.
We're I could say Benny and I, we're very believers about negative energy.
Yeah.
We only like positive energy and positive people around us.
Yeah.
That's very.
They're vampires, those energy suckers. You have to be
they
very.
suck your soul out.
Yeah. I say things, like I tell my sons and I tell my lady too. I know it's hard to say sometimes when you grew up in a religious atmosphere, home, but there is evil people out there.
Yeah.
There are evil people, and a lot of sects said, no, you got to pray for everybody. No, there is evil people. Stalin, Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, they were raised for that.
Yeah.
And there are people like that. In these days, we see them.
Yeah.
And when you see that, and when you feel it, don't even shake the hands.
Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Yeah. And keep them away, because this thing's attached to yourself and you bring it home. And when you bring it home, and all of a sudden, the whole week you're fighting with your wife and your kids. You say, well, what are we fighting about? Because that person that you touched put something on you and you brought it home.
Wow.
It's very powerful, even through social media and everything. You see somebody negative, somebody making weird comments there, block, delete, because those are the things that will pop up in your page in the morning and ruin your whole day.
You got so many gems, man. Thank you, Fab.
Thank you.
I love this interview. It's great.
Yeah. What I was going to say was, when I met Fab, I could feel his positive energy. He was smiling. He was happy. He was laughing. He was sharing knowledge with all the young entrepreneurs. And that's something that I said, this is somebody I need in my circle, somebody that can give me that feedback, that business experience, life experience, fatherhood experience. And you need people like Fab.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we're naturally attracted to positive people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when I met him for the first time too, and I remember invited me to the ribbon cutting, I said, sure, I'll be there, brother. Because I felt it.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something, I go. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 hours. I go.
That's awesome.
Because I'm going there for charge.
And we appreciate you for coming today.
Yeah.
And we've been going pretty strong on an hour and 22 minutes. I didn't want to cut it off. But
Wow.
but
That's
listen,
pretty
man,
good.
I didn't want to cut you off. We got so much. We could talk to you probably for 5 hours.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
When you're having a good conversation, man, it just goes.
Yeah,
And
there's so much more, you know, but hopefully help somebody this little bit, you know.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Definitely.
You want to stop now? And
What I was going to say was thank you, Fab, for coming on the show. I hope that all the listeners are getting that value and that knowledge about your life experience and how becoming vegan changed your life. And, you know, this is an awesome episode.
yeah,
Anything else you want to add there?
amazing. No, thank you again.
No,
And
thank you
I
for
know
having me.
Your
Great.
time is important to us, and you gave it to us. So
Of course.
Last thing I wanted to
appreciate it.
tell you is this is a moment in the show where we say, go ahead and plug yourself, whatever. Where can people find Fab the Vegan?
Yeah. The best way to find me is social media through FabTheVegan and my Facebook. Instagram is FabTheVegan63.
Okay.
And my website, FabTheVegan.com.
Okay.
But I'd rather you hit me up on social media rather than the page. I like more personal. And my phone number is there, so you can text or leave me a message or whatever.
wow.
So I'm not, you know, with phones today, if you're not the right person, I can always block you. So we're good. It's not, back in the day, they had your number, you were done.
No,
you
you
had to
have
change
to
your whole
change your
number. Not no more.
Yeah, that's true.
Block, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely reach out, you know. Be organic, reach out. You have a question, send me a message, and when I see it, I'll answer it as soon as possible. You know, and I can do, you know, I don't know everything, but if I have something, if you need help with something that I don't know, I can refer you to a doctor or other people that can help you. You
That's
know?
good.
So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
Thank you. That's
Thank
the show.
you. All righty.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everybody.
All right.
See
Thank you.